You missed your daughter's first birthday for
to be here.
Dark. Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
I know some of you might have forgot about her, but Bobbi Althoff is a famous podcaster. Well, at least she was. And so a lot of unfortunate events unfolded in front of her, like a beef with Drake and her having relationship issues, causing her to basically lose an entire platform. Which seems pretty crazy to say when I just showed you of her in bed with Drake. No, obviously not in that way. But even being able to gain an interview with him allowed her to get a bunch of others and basically become a mainstream name. That's why a lot of people look at her and assume she has to be an industry plant. And if that's the case, she is one of the biggest industry plants fall offs I've ever seen in my entire life. But I'm gonna break down everything starting from the very beginning. Before Bobbi had her really good podcast, I'm being literal, that's what the name of it is, she was a mommy blogger on TikTok. Nothing too crazy, but that's where she got her start.
Yes, I did name my daughter Richard. I just always really loved the name Richard, and I wanted a boy, but I had a girl, and I decided to name her Richard anyways, and she loves it, so I don't really know why people have a problem with it. But you can take that up with her.
All the way from mommy blogging to being in bed with Drake, it's kind of weird how that transition happened. Well, on her TikTok, she announced that she was starting a new podcast. And what's the best way to get people enticed on some new product? Introducing them with something they already are familiar with. So she thought, hey, if I get a celebrity on here, people are gonna want to watch it regardless of what happens on here. And she offered a bounty on a celebrity's head, basically saying that if anybody's able to hook her up with a celeb connection, then she'll give them some money in exchange.
There's like a finder's fee, right? You said if you can get a celebrity, I will pay you $300.
Yeah.
$300 is $300, and obviously people are gonna do what they can in order to get that money. And that didn't end up leading to her being with Drake, but instead her being with Funny Marco.
I have more followers than you on TikTok.
I know, I don't be on TikTok.
Huh?
I don't really be on TikTok.
You are. You try.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, I'm more than TikTok.
This little mingling, if that's what you even want to call this, led to her meeting up and doing a podcast episode with Drake, which is the one that got a ton of people's eyes on it, because a lot of people are confused why Drake, of all people, is doing a podcast with someone that a lot of people have never even heard of or seen, at least in the mainstream light. And with that astronomical rise from out of nowhere, a lot of people are going to be upset, because this is the internet and you cannot be positive at any point in time. So people were talking a lot of about her online, along with saying that her whole comedic style was taken from Funny Marco himself, which is insane to say, as he was obviously cool with going on her own podcast, so he didn't see an issue with it, and even led to a good connection that she had with Drake. But that would lead to more issues for her, as that clip in the beginning you saw was cut off short. But she ended up saying that she left her own child's birthday in order to interview Drake.
Ask me a couple more
Are you
things.
kicking me out?
I'm just saying, like, you know,
I flew all the way here.
You did. I really do appreciate
on my daughter's
that.
first birthday.
I wasn't gonna bring that up. You missed your daughter's first birthday for
to be here.
Dark. Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
Where's your son?
Somewhere safe, and it's not his birthday.
When's his birthday?
What does it matter? It ain't today.
Upon first hearing that, obviously a normal person would be like, it's her thing to be dry pan, her humor is probably just like that. Obviously you're not gonna originally think she's being serious, but she definitely was. And I don't care if it was Jesus himself. Well, actually maybe then you can give the exception, because come on now, Drake isn't Jesus. You would not want to miss your own child's birthday just to do an interview with Drake. Definitely could reschedule in some way or make something work. And obviously that clip was gonna go viral, Twitter, TikTok, maybe even YouTube shorts, who knows, but a bunch of people saw it and were not a fan of her. What also wouldn't help her case would be the fact that anytime she's on these interviews with these men, a lot of people got the idea that she was basically trying to flirt with them, or at least see what they felt about her in that type of manner.
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
Like, I'd do it.
You do it. I asked, am I your type? And you said I do it. It's not funny.
Hitting on guests while you're single is one thing, because I mean, hey, if your options are open, maybe theirs are too. But she was actually still married while doing stuff like this. And trust me, there are multiple clips. I'm showing great restraint right now by stopping it with just Drake. I'm not the only one that was stopping it with Drake though, because her husband filed for divorce literally the same week that this interview with Drake had came out, which makes sense. I would not want to open my phone and see Drake himself talking about how he would do my wife. I don't give not one damn. There was no excuse you could tell me or anything you could say to me to make me feel comfortable in any way with that. But who really knows why he filed for divorce? There was obviously a lot of speculation online that most likely something happened between Drake and Bobbi, but no one has any hardcore proof. But whatever happened between them did not last in the slightest. Not a friendship, not a cordial thing, not anything. Because Bobbi herself would end up deleting the podcast episode with Drake, which seems pretty odd to me. I mean, in a world where everybody is hating Drake right now due to Kendrick, she was literally 2 steps ahead, going even further by posting TikToks of her being at Drake concerts and not enjoying it. Unfortunate for her though, like how she got tired of Drake and his antics, whatever those may be, people were also starting to get tired of her. And it wasn't just people online. I mean, they hate everything, but also her own podcast guests coming on and disrespecting her right to her face.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I had questions to ask about.
Did you write them down?
No, I remember my stuff.
Okay, congratulations. You've been doing this for a lot longer. You're much older than me.
I'm 23.
You're not 23. I think we went over this when we did my podcast. You're what?
When you had all my information wrong, when you thought you knew where I was from and who I was dating and how much money I had and what car I drove and my age, and it was all off.
Okay. It's not my fault that no one actually cares enough to get that information right about you.
Jesus Christ, you're such a
I honestly don't know how this came about. I'm not going to lie to you.
Me either.
Okay. My team could have reached out to yours. I'm not going to. I don't want to make you look bad.
They had to show me who Bobbi was. I thought they were talking about Bobby Boucher.
I've never heard of Offset in
The
my
Water?
life.
Yes, you have.
I have not. I Googled you on the way here and I read something about you.
I had to go on TikTok. I couldn't even Google you.
Thank you.
I had to go TikTok search. I couldn't Google you. Google's not there yet. You're not there yet. But you'll be there.
What's crazy about this, it's not the last time someone would straight to her face, cook her, fry her shit, fish fillet style. She would later go on to change her look a little bit and then proceed to go on someone else's podcast when straight to her face it would basically say, aren't you an industry plant? What's going on with that?
You do feel kind of planty. We do have the same manager. So is this
I know, isn't that crazy?
Feels a bit planty.
This is definitely planty.
You got here in 5 minutes. It took me 20 years.
Hey, it has been a minute.
What I think industry plan is, it's like somebody that has been that is tied to someone else in the industry and uses those connections to capitalize, and they have zero talent.
Now, I'm not one to talk about people having talents because I'm just a random nigga on YouTube who talks into a mic. I don't think I'm that special, but then again, at the same time, I'm not the one with the connections to Drake. Personally, I feel like that would get you a lot of places, and it makes sense why people would be accusing her of being an industry plant. And what wouldn't help her case is people thinking that she was faking a lot of things going on that she posted. One of those things being her and Ryan Garcia having a little play fight after her interview with him.
To never let you know what I'm doing.
I just don't get why.
And then I'm like this. And then I'm like that.
Normally something like that would seem pretty innocent. I mean, it's a cool little behind the scenes for all of their fans. But then Ryan Garcia would take to Twitter to say some really odd things about him and Bobbi's interactions. I kissed Bobbi, was cool, pretty good kisser. Bobbi, although fuck Drake, and that's why she got a divorce, she cool. At the same time, this would start a pretty weird trend with her because she would go on to basically be the main chick that's getting passed around from rapper to famous person to rapper over and over again.
I like to read people's messages, not get room tours.
Let me read your messages.
No. I don't like messages.
I'll let you read one message if you let me read one message.
I delete all of my messages.
Liar.
Are you cleaning? I do. You don't? You keep your messages?
I delete my messages?
Yeah, you keep yours?
People that delete their messages are cheaters. I'm not a liar or a cheater.
Seeing clips like this is honestly sad because someone who had such big connections at the start of her career and is now fallen off of the face of the earth is insane, and actually is happening a lot more often when it comes to any type of industry. Unfortunately for them, it seems like they have the exact same personality set though. Even with Bobbi, we have multiple clips of her talk about how she's not really that passionate about what she does and is more in love with the money aspect, which would make sense why after a while you're probably not going to be doing well in this field.
Mentally decided that she made at least $300 a year on her podcast alone, and I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast.
Fortunately for her, she's still probably getting brand deals and a lot of sponsorships, even though she's not getting as high views as she used to, and is still flying out doing certain interviews with a lot of people. But most recently, the only thing I've seen her in is in Drewski's new interview where he was out on a date with Bobbi.
You said something about being attracted to me, which is why I set up the date.
Yeah, but I also said that I never wanted to have sex with you.
Oh, you said that.
Yeah, so don't think that
I think my editor edited that out.
Oh God.
Yeah, he edited that out.
Short guest appearances, like she's a cameo on a Disney Channel show, was probably all you're gonna see of Bobbi for the years to come. And I hate to say that for her because it seems like being famous was on her to-do list and she really wanted to move up in the ladder. But a lot of people are getting tired of her, and not only tired of her, just not wanting to support her in any way, shape, or form. At least that's how I feel. But if you want to tell me how you feel, the best place to do that would be the comment section down below. And if you did enjoyed this video, maybe consider giving it a like, and if you enjoy content like this, maybe consider subscribing, because I post like this every single week and you'll never miss out on a single upload if you hit that bell icon, because you'll be notified the second a video goes live. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.